Trying to do business in a war zone brings challenges beyond anybody's imagination. For example, basic things like basic infrastructure, electricity, transportation. We have a country and a government that is still not a viable and a working government. So trying to do business in this region is probably one of the hardest things to imagine, but yet nothing is impossible. So everything can go forward.
Rangina Hamidi was born in Kandahar, but when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan, her family fled the country, eventually landing in Northern Virginia where she grew up and was educated. After the events of 9/11-2001, she returned to Afghanistan with a mission to find ways to economically empower the women of her native country. She is the founder of Kandahar Treasure, an enterprise employing over 450 women who embroider garments and housewares for the domestic and international market. She is an alumna of Project Artemis, a unique business skills training program that aims to build the entrepreneurial abilities of promising Afghan businesswomen. The program is sponsored by the Thunderbird School of Global Management in Arizona.
I came here as a nonprofit worker, and the bureaucracies, the politics, the lack of a real vision forward really disappointed me. And so for me personally, I thought that the alternative to this mess of the development work was business, because business offered sustainability, business allowed people to stand on their own 2 feet, and business gives an opportunity for people to rebuild their own lives with their own hands. I saw my country in the past 30 years of war and destruction. We're constantly waiting to be spoon-fed by the world. So my answer to this dissatisfaction was start a business that I can own, but with a sustainable model. I know that in the future we can stand on our own 2 feet and not depend on the world to provide for us. I prefer business over charity because doing business for me gives me integrity. I explain to people who ask me after the experience at Thunderbird, I always tell them that I got a mini MBA because it was really an introduction to the basic principles and things that are important for doing business. Not until I completed my 2 weeks training at Artemis when I realized really what challenges I was looking to get into. With the Artemis program, I was able to get the knowledge that I needed to focus on the details which are crucial to doing business successfully. Project Artemis has taught us some very practical skills, like branding our businesses, from the tags that we use to different ways of advertising our products, to packaging our products. It also provides a good network for opportunities to find markets and to raise an awareness of what we as women are doing in a place like Kandahar. We, of course, sitting in Kandahar in the midst of a war, often get discouraged because we're constantly surrounded by violence and negativity. But projects like Artemis, and especially the people involved, just to hear a word of encouragement from successful businessmen and women is more than we could ever ask for to continue in this mission that we've chosen. Kandahar Treasure respects the fact that women in Kandahar live in a very strict cultural and traditional and conservative society. Almost all of the women that we work with in our business don't have the permission to leave their home to work. So realizing this fact, we decided that we would go to their homes rather than ask them to come to a production site. The women embroider. It's a very old embroidery skill that women in Kandahar are specifically known throughout the country and then now slowly throughout the world. Before Kandahar Treasure, this embroidery never really was introduced to the world as a possible product for market. So by recognizing this incredible fine skill that the women had, Kandahar Treasure used the opportunity to provide a working opportunity for the women at homes. Kandahar Treasure empowers women. When a woman earns, it gives her power beyond our understanding and imagination. Women are always a liability here. Their food, their clothing, their health, every aspect of their life has to be taken care of by a man figure in the household. And so now, with women having the ability to earn money, at home even, they now have an opportunity to become an asset to the family. Indirectly, we're also changing the social dynamics of the society. And that is an important step to changing women's rights and women's social reality in the country that we're working. Women, by the mere fact that they now have money in their hand, are making decisions. They're now earning side by side with their men. And that in itself improves self-esteem because she now knows that she's worth something. And the mothers are now able to negotiate with the father who wants to marry the girls off at an early age. The mother basically is buying time for her daughters to not get married early because she's now bringing income and the father agrees. So this is one very important example of how the social as well as the economical change is happening. I would never consider these women as victims because they're changing not only their lives but their societies and the future of their children. These women are not victims. As a woman, as an Afghan woman, I have come to believe that the future of Afghanistan depends on its women. I cannot count on the men who have murdered, who have killed, who have destroyed to rebuild my country. Women, on the other hand, because we have not been involved in the destruction, I think we're a natural alternative to giving Afghanistan a new image, a new face, and a new future. I would like the world to know that women, as stakeholders of their country and their society and their families, are better advocates for peace and stability in their nation. By being involved in businesses that have integrity, I know and I believe that women can change the future of Afghanistan.